Hello again, and welcome to another Skyrim town tour video. This is a new town to my playthrough, and took me a while to actually find the mod. We're here in the northwestern plains of Whiterun. And we are just north of the town of Blackmore, which we've toured before. And I just fought off a dragon and my horse and I were traveling north here, and I figured we'd make a stop and finish off the towns in the northern plains. The townspeople and I had quite the fight. So sitting on top of an old rocky outcropping and built within the ruins of a Nordic possible temple or altar, we find this town here, the town of Old Granite Hall. Old Granite Hall. And it's the sister city to our town to the very southwest, Granite Hall. So this town sits just before the citadel and northeast of Blackmore and directly north of the Imperial Outpost and Fort Greymore. As we begin to walk up, we see and hear the sounds of the town. The blacksmith hammering away. The farmers tilling to the wheat. The wind blowing in the trees. We'll take a quick walk through the town's road before we begin our tour. The architecture is a mix similar to Whiterun and some of the river towns, but mixed in with Nordic ruins. When the dragons reawoke in Skyrim, this was one of the first places to take notice, as there were burials of draugrs in the rubble that stirred. The town's guards were quick to dispatch. But nonetheless, the townsfolk were scared. Now hired mercenaries patrol and guard the small village. As it is tucked between many ancient Nordic ruins and backs up to the frozen north and the mountains of Morthal. The citadel to the north is the immediate beacon of aid in the event of a dragon attack. But luckily, the villagers can take refuge within the stone. As you can see, it provides a wonderful view of the plains of Whiterun. You can see very far west. Let's make our way back down and we'll begin our tour. One of the things I like to do in these videos is imagine and try to figure out what kind of life would be like living in the town. Fortunately, looks like she's stuck on that rock. Exiting the open gate and watch post, we are greeted with our first building, a farm home whose small wheat garden has a very pristine gate. As we walk up the stone stairs, I'm going to have to turn up the settings so I can read it. This is the house of Ferald and Loti. And it looks like we can go visit them. The interior of their home is cozy and warm. The Lodi enjoys a warm loaf of bread, while Ferald tends to the soup in the pot and the meat cooking on the fire. Their hearth has an old Nordic sculpture built into it, and their home features artwork from all over. You could imagine the small amount of wheat that they produce could be sold to some of the breweries or some of the local towns close to Skyrim, or close to Granite Hall, Blackmore, and the Citadel. All would require that for their horses, as well as their stores. So while they do not have a large farm, their farm is able to sell all that they grow, and therefore sustain the happy couple. As you can see, there's makeshift wooden and stone walls and minimal fences to try to keep out wildlife, but the town is relatively open to any and all. As we approach our next business, we see their home of Ariald and Gisela, or Gelsa. Gelsa is a shield maiden.
I'm telling you, I heard it, howling. Those werewolf tales are true.
Yeah?
Ariald is a blacksmith. One trained on the battlefield, the other trained in the forge. And now they have set up shop along the roads. This small blacksmith shop handles not only orders from the Citadel.
What could it mean? The return of the Dragonborn? And who among us could possibly hold that honor and such power?
But also supplies, adventurers, hunters, and wild men of the plains. As being in such a remote location, it would allow those individuals not to make a long journey back to a major hold to repair their armor, swords, or to procure more arrows. There are some very pretty trees and natural features. A small stable in case of weather. And as we pass under the gate, we see one of the guards. These mercenaries are individuals from around Skyrim who cannot find work or employment in any other guild or profession. Sometimes outcast, sometimes widows and widowers. These are often some of the most hardened Nordic and Skyrim citizens. As we approach what I would guess is the town inn, we hear no music. There is no one sitting outside. Hearth of Stone Inn seems very, very empty.
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
It seems they only have maybe one or two guests here.
Our hero claims a warrior's heart. I tell you, the dragon...
Sure. What can I do for you? Good day.
She was going to sing her heart out. You can see it's a very simple inn. And with the rare exception of a royal hunting trip, the inn probably only caters to the adventurer and hunter in the plains, as well as those traveling to and from without a place to stay. As we look on and above, you see just how tall the city is built. And as we make our way back down towards the city center, we see the town well. If we go to the right, we see Bernarda's house.
You lost?
Bernarda has a very small home, but it is very warm, with her large fire going all the time. Wishing probably leave her be, as it looks like she's sitting down for dinner. Across from her home, we have the local trader. Mountainside Treasures.
Let me know if you see anything you like.
I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick. I've got a water jug here.
It's time for you to go.
Sorry, sometimes my mouth gets dry. This looks like a very small but very cleanly shop. And living quarters.
Yes, take a look.
Looks like she's got all the basics, as well as any basic armor that you might require in the field. We'll pick up
All right then.
some things she has to offer and continue on. If you turn immediately to your right and head under the other archway. There is a little watch post that overlooks the roads to ensure safe passage. As not far from here, giant camps and mammoths and all sorts of wild creatures stalk the area around the city. There is one more structure situated slightly further out from the town. The Warriors' Hall. The Warriors' Hall.
You lost?
Yeah.
Can only imagine that these are the guards of the town. The captain's quarters. It's beginning to be nighttime. And we're just going to do a loop around the far outside exterior. Looks like they have a chopping block situated with a gorgeous view and a small little fire.
Need something?
Or local guards patrol the streets. And if we go inside this large archway, you can see some of the old ruins close up. It was when the dragons rose from within this archway and the rubble that the Draugrs rose. Luckily, the warriors at the time were able to deal with them as they came out of the ground. More Nordic faces and ruins litter the architecture of the town. And as we begin to make our way up the staircase, we can see the little details of the fire and the cauldrons, the smoke coming out of the chimney tops, and now the stars are even visible in the sky. can kind of see a better top-down view of the town.
I heard the gourmet is hiding out somewhere in Skyrim. You know, fellow who wrote the cookbook.
And even at night, life is bustling here. Seems everybody is headed towards the inn in town for a meal and a cup of mead. We will go in to our last building, the House of Clan Rockbiter. A very small entryway. This looks to be the closest thing to a Jarl, as there is a throne here. Imagine this town kind of being run like a clan or a guild, as it is so small. We'll head back down to the inn and see if it's any more lively tonight.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything. Take a seat by the fire and I'll
Looks
send
like
someone.
it's
We drink to our
nice and
youth,
busy.
to the days come and gone. For the age of aggression is just about done. Need something? Mm-hmm.
Yes? Sure thing. It's yours for a day. Until next time.
Well, I was going to sign off, but it's quite loud here. That's why I normally turn the voice down.
This is an ode to Skyrim's staunch protectors, the Imperials.
She's making her politics very well known with her music. Well, with that being said, I think we've toured everything in the town. And I hope you check this mod out. It's available on the Nexus. You just may have to search for it. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I hope I was able to help you relax. If you enjoyed the video, check out the other videos and playlists where I do town tours and take you through the locations of Skyrim. If you would be so kind to subscribe, I'm trying to make it to 100 subscribers this month. I'd appreciate any comments or requests for videos you'd like to see. Take care, and I will catch you guys in the next video.